All right, welcome back to Fleckes Talks, the podcast, episode 311. Today on the show, we learn more about the Afghan terrorists and all the other Afghans living in America, especially Texas. We'll go over the details there. Then, lots of online chatter seems to be signaling another 9/11 style attack. We'll go over the most compelling theories. Then, Tim Walz is under fire for his role in covering up the Somali scams in Minnesota. We'll go over those details as well. And last but not least, in Urban Decay, these guys say they were kicked out of their fishing spot because they were fishing while black. We'll tell you what really happened. All this and more, it's Fleckes Talks, the podcast, episode 311, ranked the best news podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do. Very cool. Very cool.
It's Fleckes Talks, the podcast, featuring Richard Bradford.
Guys, Black Friday is here and Farmer Bill is having his biggest sale of the year. Stock up on their new steak sticks, beef slabs, or any of their sliced meat snacks. There are tallow bombs available, which make great Christmas gifts. Their signature knife is a great stocking stuffer. There's tons of stuff to choose from. Take advantage of this deal with code FLECKES25 for 25% off of one-time orders. Or if you want to do subscriptions for the steak sticks, Fleckes40 gets you 40% off of your first subscription order. Don't miss out on Farmer Bill's biggest sale of the year. Go to farmerbillsprovisions.com or go to the link in the show notes. Make sure you use code FLECKES25 for one-time orders or FLECKES40 to get 40% off of your first subscription. Thank you to Farmer Bill for sponsoring. Let's get back to housekeeping.
Farmer Bill's Provisions, the perfect protein snack.
All right, thank you to Farmer Bill for sponsoring.
Thank you, Farmer Bill.
We love Farmer Bill, and he's extending his Black Friday savings just for us show watchers. So take advantage of that. That's his biggest sale of the year, and it's not going to last long.
Wowie.
And if you do send me a receipt and show me that you purchased some Farmer Bills, I'll follow you back on a social media of your choice. But at the moment, I'm down a social media because I was suspended from Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get too much into the theories as to why I think I was suspended from Instagram, but I will say this. The last episode, we had the guy who was blowing dump on the street in Australia, the Indian man.
Mm-hmm. May have been Pakistani as well.
May have been Pakistan, maybe Sri Lankan.
Yeah.
But I scheduled that post on Instagram, and then within 10 minutes, my account gets suspended. And then I'm talking to an Instagram person, and they keep replying in the middle of the night.
1:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time.
1:30 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, which is, drum roll please,
What time is that in Mumbai?
noon in India.
Okay.
So I'm not saying what I think happened, but
Inside job.
I'm pretty sure that's what it might have been.
Well, it's scary. I hope you get it back. That's a big account. Some of you guys may have noticed we weren't posting reels immediately after the episode released.
It's a 600,000 person account.
It hurts us. That hurts us. They're swinging at us.
That's my business.
We're being attacked.
And we just sued Google with Trump. Don't make me fire the lawyers back up.
Don't make me fire up Trump's lawyers again, who I cannot afford.
That I didn't pay the first time. Don't make me do that again.
Oh, God.
All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. I don't know if you guys remember, a few episodes ago, we were convinced that Trump was a show watcher because he kept saying things that we were just talking about, like the Somalis. There was an ICE raid after a big Somali section. Trump posted this on Thanksgiving. It's a lot to read, but can you just read the last sentence in the bottom right?
Yeah, he's talking about the refugee burden and how stupid America is with 53 million foreign-born people and how we're paying for all of them. And he said, this refugee burden, the leading cause of social dysfunction in America, something that did not exist after World War II, failed schools, high crime, urban decay.
Urban Decay.
A little hat tip.
Loud and
President
clear,
himself.
sir. Loud and clear.
Standing back and standing by.
All right, that's pretty good, and I hope it's true, and it really might be, because we asked for a sign, and we got Urban Decay. I don't know how much more obvious it can be.
Yeah, and if you're even a little bit schizophrenic, that's a sure thing. And I know that's a sure thing for you. For me, I'm like, pretty common phrase. We kind of co-opted it. For Fleckes, he's standing back and standing by.
It's been confirmed. All right. Last episode, we showed you guys that political graph I made that I stayed up all night making. And with all the influencers, and I was explaining how like the America First movement and the MAGA movement is being taken over by these outliers in the bottom who are Zionists. Someone had a really good reply to that on Twitter. He said, bottom right is a great term for the people who bend over for Israel.
Yeah, little double entendre there. They're on the bottom right of the grid. Bottoms.
Dave Rubin is a...
Yeah, well, he's bottom left. He's left Epstein.
But Dave Rubin is a bottom.
Yeah.
He loves bottoming, bottom right. So bottom right is a good term for these subversive MAGA people.
Okay.
All right, let's get to some real news. Auto pen Joe Biden, all those auto pen stuff he did could be nullified.
Maybe. Trump went on a tear, if you guys hadn't seen, including the first post we read, and then this was one of his follow-ups, basically pausing all third world immigration is what he wants to do, and then this next part, any document signed by Sleepy Joe Biden with the auto pen, which was approximately 92% of them, is hereby terminated and of no further force or effect. The auto pen is not allowed to be used if approval is not specifically given by the President of the United States. The radical left lunatics circling Biden around the beautiful Resolute desk in the Oval Office took the presidency away from him. I am hereby canceling all executive orders and anything else that was not directly signed by crooked Joe Biden, and so on and so forth.
So that's great news. That's something else we've called for as well. And I have always said that should include Ketanji Brown Jackson's appointment to the Supreme Court.
And I believe someone checked, and that was auto pen.
So we're getting another Supreme Court seat, maybe.
Maybe, fingers crossed. That seems more like a social media decree, not necessarily a real ruling.
But he said from this moment forward.
He did say, if he had a little henceforth in there, but I think obviously there's some legal routes to challenge certain ones.
Yeah.
And remember how many people Biden pardoned at the end of his term, too? Like 8,000 people, more than any other president.
I think it should happen, obviously, and it should be swift. Basically, anything Joe Biden did is canceled. That's what they did to us, I think, when he first got into office.
Yeah, all the executive orders that Trump did are gone.
Yeah, and Joe Biden's like a retarded Muppet. So anything he did doesn't count.
Yep.
Hopefully.
That's simple.
Yeah, that's easy.
Yeah. Anything he did doesn't count. It's called takesies backsies, but from the president's office.
And then he goes like this.
Yeah.
And he signs
Crosses it out.
Takes these backsies. Signed. All right, let's get to the story of the week, the Afghan National Guard shooter.
Yes.
We have some updates about the guy himself and then about the Afghans in general. Can you read that Fox headline?
Yeah, this was from Fox. It said, emails show Afghan evacuee Ramanullah Lakanwal, now accused of killing a National Guard soldier near the White House, had been mentally deteriorating for more than a year. Advocates warned he was not functional as a person as he quit jobs, isolated himself for days, and took erratic trips across the country before the deadly D.C. shooting.
Not a functional person is interesting considering he did work for the CIA, so it could be maybe a brain takeover thing. Not going to take it too far, but we do have some more context about his roles with the CIA.
Yeah, a fellow unit member says alleged D.C. shooter felt abandoned by CIA. The Afghan who served in a U.S.-backed Zero unit struggled with apparent mental health issues after migrating to America in 2021.
And can you read that second paragraph there from the Rolling Stone article?
He'd say, I am working 9 years or 10 years with the U.S. government. They never answer my phone call. So he was getting neglected.
So that's it. Pretty interesting. And we have an oil field rando reply as well.
Yeah, well, this is from an article, and we all know what happened. We saw the videos of the Afghans trying to get on the U.S. military planes when we pulled out of Afghanistan under Biden. And this quote says, in the final days of the war in 2021, roughly 81,000 Afghan immigrants, including almost 10,000 members of the Zero units, along with many of their families, were evacuated by the CIA and resettled across the U.S. And Oilfield Rando said the CIA just plonked 10,000 foreign death squad members down in American communities. This is fine.
Not good. We're going to get to the details there. And obviously the National Guard shooting is a tragedy, but what we don't want is an overreach in response. And we might be getting an overreach based on what Pam Bondi was saying on Fox.
working hand in hand with Secretary Noem, Homeland Security. Director Patel has already arrested 500 suspected terrorists since January 20th. We're working hand in hand with Pete Hegseth. And yes, we are bringing in our National Guard to every city we possibly can. Who needs our help? And that's a lot of them. We're tied up, as you know, in a lot of court hearings right now. These young men and women in the Guard, they want to help our country. They want to be here. They are patriots, yet they will not be attacked by a radical Islamic terrorist who screams by reports, Ali Akbar, before shooting 2 of our Guard members and almost killing more.
Yeah, can you?
He's a real moron.
Ali Akbar, like it's Tony Hawk game, like it's a video game. Ali Akbar, and he does a kickflip.
Yeah, and what we don't want is kind of what she said. I don't know if she meant to say it, but we're going to put National Guard in every city if we need to.
Well,
and it's kind of an overreach because then if there's more attacks, then it's like, all right, we'll put National Guard everywhere. We'll do martial law. We need facial recognition to catch these terrorists, and then we
we let in 2021.
And then we just usher in facial recognition surveillance state.
Yeah, for sure.
And there also is, like, as you guys know, a color revolution in the works happening right now. So this kind of could be the next phase of that, where they try to get Trump in a corner where they do all these terrorist attacks, and then we install the surveillance state to defend against it.
Yeah, not good. Some updates in terms of the shooting itself. One of the guys, the surviving victim, we said there were 2 dead on the last episode. We kind of had incomplete information. But I think he just woke up and became aware. So God bless.
God bless that guy.
And then another thing that we aren't going to cover here in any of the assets, we're going to kind of go into Afghan resettlement after this. But the weird initial reaction from the left was basically like that woman shouldn't have worn a short dress. She was asking for it type energy with the National Guard. A lot of the initial reaction from the left was, well, Trump kind of instigated this by sending the National Guard around. And that was before they knew it was an Afghan national who was having a mental break. Weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
So very bad instincts from the left there.
Very bad instincts. And as we kind of alluded to, a lot of these Afghans were brought here on purpose, especially in Texas. We have some stats about how much money was given to Texas to take them, and then how many people are here in general in Texas.
Yeah, this is from just the public record of grants. The Biden admin paid off locals in Texas to take a bunch of these savages. Harris County, almost $9 million. A second Harris County, or unless that's a typo or something, almost $5 million. Dallas County, $3.7 million. Austin, $3.1. Behar County, you don't pronounce that X, right? Behar County?
I'm assuming.
$3 million. Tarrant County, $2.6 million.
So almost $50 million to take all these people.
Yeah.
And that's just in Texas. Mm-hmm. And then we have some of the numbers. You can go straight to the cities.
Houston, 5,100 Afghans. Dallas-Fort Worth, 2,200. San Antonio, 1,700. Austin, almost 1,000.
And guess who's begging for him? Dan Crenshaw.
Little Danny Crenshaw.
He is begging. He was begging for these Afghans, and we have a letter that he wrote, but we can just read the summation tweet of it.
He just wrote a letter asking the federal government to speed up the importation of Afghan nationals, and then the letter's here. But that was actually a common theme with a lot of right-wingers. I think I saw Byron Donalds, Governor Hopeful of Florida. He was asking for Afghan refugees. There was this weird kind of thing where these guys helped us. They were our translators, and they did this. And it's like, you mean in that war zone? Do you bring everybody back? Does everybody come back with you? Was that part of the thing that we signed up for?
Not good.
So I just think there's this weird, we helped them. We have a responsibility towards them military thing. And then we have a responsibility towards anyone who's hungry or starving in the entire world. We have a lot of responsibilities as a country.
Well, we must be doing great.
Yeah, they must be really integrating into society and not committing crimes or trying to join terrorists.
Yeah, it's not good. And it's a weird obligation that we don't really have, that all these war people are really into. Like Dan Crenshaw's begging to bring these Afghans to Texas.
And to be fair, a lot of soldiers who actually fought over there are kind of sympathetic to it. Like we've talked to a couple who are like, well, these guys really helped us out, or they were kind of like ingrained with us. And, but I don't know, 80,000 people airdropped into random places in America, like Montana. They're going deep in the interior of the country. I don't really like that. And obviously we're learning, one of the big lies was that these people were heavily vetted. They're just fucking nothing. Nothing happened. What kind of paperwork does Afghanistan have? A war-torn country, you know? Oh, they were vetted. Yeah, what? Somebody handed you a couple pieces of paper and you don't know where the fuck they came from?
Yeah, you swear this is you?
And then think about it too. An Afghan, like, please, I want to go to America. I love America. When you're trying to go to America,
I love America.
you're not going to be honest. Yeah, I love America. For now, it's like the fingers crossed in the picture. You see the passport photo, his fingers are crossed behind his back.
I have no ulterior motives and
the Truman
a
Show.
second plan and other allegiances.
Yeah.
And then when they do get here, they do obviously commit a lot of crimes. We have like a rundown here. You can read them fast, but we have a lot of guys that are doing a lot of crimes.
Mohammed Dawood Al-Koze, the Afghan migrant, threatened to detonate bombs in Fort Worth, and he was booked as a white man.
I don't think white people actually do any crime.
Yeah.
I'm like changing my view entirely to show me a white guy who did a crime.
Every once in a while, a white guy kills his wife.
Yeah.
And he snaps. That's all I'm admitting to. Every once in a while, a frat kid gets a little handsy. A little underage drinking.
Yeah.
Zabihullah Momand. It's all variations of Mohammed. Momand. They just got lazy on that one. Afghan national who was resettled in Montana by the Biden administration was charged with the rape of a teenage girl in Missoula in a Missoula hotel room. So that's what I'm talking about, deep in the country. And that's part of this whole refugee resettlement game is like, you saw the playbook run in Minnesota, and we're going to get to Minnesota. But it's not hard to take over a city if once you do like a high birth rate community and you dump them in and then they kind of all flock to it.
Yeah.
And once you're in the U.S., you can choose what state to go to, right? Mm-hmm. Barula Nuri, Afghan evacuee, was arrested at Fort McCoy in Wisconsin and charged with attempting to engage in a sexual act with a minor. Another guy, Afghan national who was on a terror watch list, was apprehended by the Border Patrol in 2024, but released into the country by the Biden men. So we had him and let him slip through our fingertips like sand. Another guy was arrested by ICE and convicted of second-degree assault, but was previously allowed to stay in the country by the Biden administration. So you see a common theme. And then these two guys, Abdullah and Nasir, were both Afghan nationals who were arrested for plotting a terrorist attack in Oklahoma City for Education Day 2024. They had hundreds of rounds of ammo and pledged their allegiance to ISIS. Oops. That wasn't on the paperwork. Whoa, we fully vetted them.
Hey, get back to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Knock that off.
Yeah, knock that off. We're going to release you.
Go to a Badgers game.
How's Missoula sound? Yeah, go Bears.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, they're dumped in the middle of the country. Everything you're ever told is kind of a lie.
Yeah.
The vetting, how much they love America or how ready they are to assimilate. It's all just such horseshit. And even politicians on the right are like, hey, we owe it to them. I don't owe people anything.
We don't owe anyone anything.
And then the money to do this, that was real money. How many scholarships or random things, a beautiful park could be built with $50 million that's for Afghans to go to Texas?
So true.
Yeah.
And then you ruin Texas instead. So it's not even like
it's a double parlay.
We didn't get a park and we got Texas. So it's like this,
such a huge spread.
It's $100 million spread.
That swing goes crazy.
It's a huge swing. And obviously they're ramping up for something. It does seem like some maybe more attacks are coming. Laura Loomer has been signaling that a 9/11 or October 7th style attack is coming. Can you read part of her tweet?
I predict we are going to have an October 7th style attack here in the U.S. How soon before one of these Islamic jihadi illegals goes door to door in a Jewish neighborhood or holds a Jewish school hostage? I really feel like this is going to happen, especially since GOP members of Congress do nothing to speak out about the threat of jihad in America. I pray I am wrong, but the Democrats have emboldened the Free Palestine movement to get away with murder in broad daylight.
And then Candace replied to that with what we were all thinking.
They have been signaling that a 9/11 style attack is coming in the second week of December. Save this tweet. It will age well.
And we have a compilation of all Laura Loomer's tweets.
Yeah. Pro-Hamas Muslim socialist is about to be the next mayor of NYC. Get ready for another 9/11. It's all the green text in this is another 9/11, basically.
Another 9/11.
Bigger than 9/11.
Another 9/11, another 9/11, another 9/11. Yeah. And then I saw this, which I thought was interesting, coming out of Israel. Can you read that tweet, please?
Israel prepares for Jewish mass exodus. Emergency drill simulates massive intake of tens of thousands of Jews fleeing their countries due to severe anti-Semitic or security incidents. Is the Great Escape coming?
So that's signaling as well that there could be an attack in New York or something, or an anti-Semitic attack or a Muslim attack. Then a lot of the Jews would go back to Israel. And we spoke a few months ago about how they're maybe planning to do attacks and disguise themselves as first responders and police officers. Remember that?
Yeah.
We did talk about that. And then I started digging, and I digged, and I digged, and I digged, and I found I dug. And I found these stories from last year that went unnoticed. 19 NYPD uniforms are missing from New York City dry cleaners. And last month, 200 NYPD complete police vehicle vinyl stickers went missing from a vendor, which is interesting. And then I also did research and found out that 31 police radios were also stolen, and 30 police uniforms were stolen from the cleaners at the same time in Detroit.
Uh-oh.
So we had that theory that made a lot of sense about them pretending to be first responders and police to cause more chaos and cause more harm. Then we find the missing uniforms, which happened last year. And then don't forget, last year there was also the 60,000 pounds of explosive chemicals that were lost during the rail shipment in California.
Yeah.
So 60,000 pounds of explosive chemical went missing off a train in California.
And they kind of blamed it on a leak. They said maybe it was a leak.
Yeah, maybe it was a leak.
Maybe
So
it fell into the hands of a bunch of guys with NYPD uniforms.
Yeah, we'll take it. It's like
We'll take it.
In California, the NYPD, we're the police. So I'm not saying I'm onto something, but I might be.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You know? And if it all ends in terrorist...
It's almost like the Loomer energy there is almost like I'm hoping for it.
Yeah.
It's a little weird. Like when you call for something or you're predicting something too much, and I'm not saying like she's hoping for it, but it is a little bit of that energy, right?
She's warning us.
Yeah. She's guys better stay safe. I got a bad feeling about next Tuesday.
Everyone's been a little too anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
You might get what you deserve.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the energy, unfortunately. And if it does end in more terrorist attacks and facial recognition and National Guard in every city, you know the plan is being executed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Dark.
All right, let's get
What
to
happens? What happens if you become too black-pilled? Where do you go? You become a recluse? You withdraw?
Even worse, yeah.
What?
Because we're not even safe in Florida.
I know.
That's the thing. Everyone thinks, oh,
You're
Florida.
not safe anywhere. That's the thing. These bad policies, like, they affect you everywhere. That's the whole point. The truckers, the refugees, everybody can get anywhere.
And then I can't go to Poland because they don't want brown migrants. And I'm probably I'm a part Italian. They're going to go,
They really look at you.
They're going to go put your skin next to this brown bag.
I wonder if I could get into Poland.
Poland would be where I go.
Yeah.
Or El Salvador.
Well, I'm not fleeing the country. I'm more talking about, like, going kind of rural.
I'd flee the
setting up a
country.
perimeter.
Yeah. Well, maybe you go rural, and where do you go? North Dakota?
Yeah.
Idaho?
No restaurants ever again. Fucking restaurants are done. Or you got to be the cook.
Yeah. I could make hollandaise.
Broken sauce. He can make a pretty good broken sauce.
I figured out how to do it. You got to heat the bottom. You got to heat the butter and heat what you're mixing the yolks into.
Yeah.
But I made a batch the other day and I forgot the lemon juice. And I'm like, what am I eating? This doesn't taste right.
Yeah.
It's fucking fat and stupid.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to Venezuela. Venezuela is an interesting topic. I'm still.
That's how you start like a paper in college that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So Venezuela is an interesting topic, and there's a lot going on in a place like Venezuela.
Exactly. Where you're trying to get your word count up. You start using periods that are size 13 font instead of 12.
That's what we're dealing with. I'm doing more research on Venezuela because I'm not fully informed, and I don't want to just talk out of my ass. Yeah. So I will show you guys a Trump tweet. And I will show you guys a QAnon-adjacent fan fiction hopeful angle, and maybe one of those resonates.
Yeah, well, to start this all off with, the Trump admin is blowing Venezuelan drug smugglers out of the fucking water.
Yes.
They're finding them, they're using drones, and they're exploding people. And the left is going crazy about that because I think they love drug smugglers, international drug smugglers in open water.
And they want to give them like a trial here in America. And it's like, why don't you get them blown the fuck out?
We got to bring them here and then let one of our judges totally let them off the hook or something.
Yeah.
And we're just skipping that and nuking them. But Trump said to all airlines, pilots, drug dealers, and human traffickers, please consider the airspace above and surrounding Venezuela to be closed in its entirety. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Trump.
Okay, so there's his statement, and obviously we don't know what's fully going on in Venezuela, but I do know that Venezuela is a deep state hub, just like Ukraine is. That's true. And then I found this tweet, and I thought it kind of rang true, and I wanted to put it on the show.
Yeah, this guy says this isn't just about Maduro. This is the final nail in the coffin for the CIA black budget narco pipeline that's been running since the 80s. Sinaloa, CJNG, Tren de Aragua, they're all tentacles of the same beast that's been protected by rogue elements inside Langley and the Pentagon for decades. Who do you think really armed the Venezuelan gangs that flooded swing states right before the election? Who flew the untraceable Gulf streams full of product and kids out of Maturin and Maiquetía while Biden looked the other way? Same people who ran Iran-Contra. Fast forward 40 years. Trump isn't just closing airspace. He's cutting the oxygen to the deep state, money laundering superhighway that's been funding black sites, color revolutions, and child trafficking networks across the hemisphere. Land operations begin very soon. Translation, the white hats are moving in to seize the servers, the tunnels, and the ledgers. The Mockingbird media swore didn't exist. The storm over Caracas is about to expose everything.
The storm over Caracas.
Yeah, I can see.
I like that.
He goes, oh, storm over Caracas rings true.
Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually know one of the guys who took the fall for Iran-Contra. Somebody who we went to school with, his grandson.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that bad?
I'll tell you later.
Is that good or bad? Is he a bad guy?
He's got some ties.
Yeah.
He's got some ties.
Wasn't my friend. Or was I don't know. Probably was.
Kind of was.
And then also keep in mind, I think there was some the servers that were mentioned. I think there's some sketchy voter stuff that got like sent abroad and it went to like Serbia and Venezuela, I think. So could be 2020 election fraud stuff coming into play as well. But there is a deep state hub in Venezuela, just like in Ukraine. Trump
well, it makes sense. I mean, the CIA needs money to fund some of their little ops, and that's long been a thing in the history of America, is letting some things go as long as you get a cut, or if it benefits you, or the arms are flowing to the enemy of someone you're trying to overthrow. You know, it's an ugly, evil world out there, and sometimes you just let things go one way or the other if it helps you out.
It's very true. And it also would explain why...
tip the scale in the favor of the guy you want to win or who you can control or something. So,
and it gives you the money.
Yeah, exactly.
And it also, remember that weird video from a few weeks ago where the elected officials were telling people in the military to ignore their orders to go against Trump or whatever?
Yeah.
That kind of comes into play as well, and then Trump had to reply to that.
He said, there are laws that impact our nation. Read Title 18, Chapter 115, Section 2387. Whoever with the intent to interfere, impair, influence the loyalty, morale, or discipline of the military and naval forces to be fined or imprisoned up to 10 years. Commander Kirk Lippold, U.S. Navy, retired. This is right on point. Do what has to be done. So he's kind of like alluding to people interfering.
It's illegal to do that.
Yeah.
And then there was a final tweet we're going to wrap this segment up with. Can you give that a read?
Okay, now I finally get it. The seditious six are desperate to stop military action in Venezuela because it's the linchpin to the CIA control over the narco cartels and money laundering operations in South America. With Ukraine about to be cut off, Maduro is the only place they can turn. If Trump takes him out, it's game over for the deep state douchebags. That's why they must have rebellion in the military. Surprised they didn't figure this out sooner. It's all about the Bolivars.
Hey, for a segment where you weren't too sure about,
I don't know anything about Venezuela, to be honest.
I think we passed off a lot of good information to you guys.
Yeah. And if it wasn't good information, we had fun. We had fun along the way and we made friends.
White hats are in control.
Yeah. Storm over Caracas.
Yeah, we had fun. All right. And with all this stuff going on, all these battles brewing, the average American is still struggling. The economy obviously isn't doing great. And I saw this tweet that I thought summed up.
That's why we don't care about Venezuela that much.
Yeah.
We got our own issues, and it's long been a complaint of us, of this show at least, that I really don't care as much about foreign policy as domestic issues, right?
Same. Yeah. And I saw this tweet that kind of summed up the mindset of young people. It explained it pretty well. Can you read that?
Yeah, I hesitate to because I feel like this is bad. But this guy said, you mathematically can't compound your way to wealth anymore. 20 years, 7% returns, 3% inflation, 40% taxes. Best case, you 1.5x your investment. That is why the kids YOLO it, plain and simple. And he's got an Excel chart here where he makes some assumptions, which he laid out. The interest rate, what you would earn, 7%. The S&P 500 historically is like 10.5%. So this is a little conservative. 3% inflation, which
Could be worse.
Could be fucking worse. I believe that one. But 40% taxes. That's 40% taxes on what? You sell every year?
Yeah.
So I don't really agree with a little bit of this assumption, but what's your point on
But
this?
the overall sentiment is real, where the only way out for young people, according to young people, is like shit coins or a 10-leg parlay.
Hyper gambling on stocks, options on something, betting your...
Like the old school boomer way of doing things where you just put like $1,000 a month in your IRA and then you have $4 million. Like that's done.
And then
the money's gone. There is nothing.
And then this guy, the time, I have to disagree a little bit because the time power, he's got a 20-year horizon on this. And it's like, you really go like a hockey stick once your balance grows. And then like your contributions don't even matter. It's all growth. So I don't know. I got to push back a little. But I get your vibe.
We understand why the young people are frustrated.
Inflation is insane.
No one's wages go up. No one makes any money. You put money away.
Migrants.
Your value of money goes down if you have it in your savings account.
Yeah.
With all the inflation. And then is inflation going to get fixed with $40 trillion in debt? Or are we going to keep printing money?
Are we going to inflate our way out of it? Yeah, totally.
I don't think we can inflate our way out of it. I think what's going to happen, I don't want to get into like a financial conversation, but I think we're basically...
Venezuela now finances. I think your expert topics.
I think we're basically going to print money to buy Bitcoin. And that's what Michael Saylor says is like whatever country prints money to buy Bitcoin wins. And I think we're kind of taking that advice. And we're going to print money to buy Bitcoin and we're going to kick the can down the road again, going from gold to no gold. And then but instead of failing, going from this to crypto, I think is another way to kick the can down the road and not fully fail. Okay. Fiat currencies last like 80 to 100 years, and we're at year 80. So it's kind of over.
Okay.
So let's try to get it into crypto. All right. During all this, Congress is busy passing resolutions to condemn socialism. What is it?
That's fun. They have fun. They all meet up. They have drinks that night or something.
And they go, yes, condemn socialism.
AOC said no.
Yeah.
Or something.
And they'll condemn Nick Fuentes.
Yeah.
And
let me pull out my signing pen.
And it's like such a waste of time, doesn't do anything. And we have the House and Senate, and this is what we're up to.
Yeah.
And I saw this guy's tweet, and I thought this was very interesting.
Yeah, he said, I'm so relieved Congress finally condemned socialism. I was seriously worried we might end up with tax rates up to 40%, forced wealth transfers from working-age people to retirees, taxpayer dollars funneled straight into insurance companies and big pharma, and the federal government quietly nationalizing huge chunks of strategic industries such as chip makers like Intel. Thank goodness they drew that line in the sand before any of that scary socialist stuff could happen.
We're basically there already.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad.
Yep.
And where's all the money going?
Where?
Besides to all those things he mentioned, to the migrants.
Migrants. And you know what? You had your theory on Instagram, getting banned on Instagram. We haven't discussed the migrant effect on Instagram yet. We can blame migrants for pretty much everything. So I think we should assign them at least 10 to 15% of the blame.
And H-1B probably did it. And that's why
migrants.
I'm going to reply to the person I'm talking to in Mumbai or whatever, and I'm going to say, hey, can you provide me with your Meta or Instagram ID? Because I'm going to be referring you to your manager to be fired.
Yeah. I don't think you should threaten when you're begging. When you're pathetic and begging.
I think I might have to, because I don't think they're going to be happy. But then again, if I refer it to someone, he's probably Indian too.
I know. Here's my boss, Vaibhav.
And then he backs up his boy.
Yeah, they fucking get you.
They go, who's the good guy here? Who's the bad guy? Yeah. Bad guy, Indians are good, I'm fucked.
Yep.
If I lose the Instagram account, I don't even go on my phone anymore. Maybe that's good.
Yeah, start a family.
That would be...
start a family. Start reading the newspaper.
Yeah, I'll drink coffee and read the newspaper.
You're fucked.
And I'll go shark fishing more. But I go on my phone while I'm shark fishing. So I'll really have to be focused on the rod.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to our migrant section. First is a clip from Stephen Miller exposing the illegals and their voting scam.
For your audience perfectly, Sean, this was not a loophole. The Biden administration, Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, devised a scheme to fly illegal aliens into the country and then to escort them en masse across the border by the millions, and to give them something known as parole, which gives them a work permit, which gives them a social security number, which gives them access to the voting booth. This was the plan all along, to get them here illegally so they can get free government benefits, get hooked to welfare, and be able to participate in American elections. This was an attack on democracy by the Democrat Party. It's the same attack.
And he later says it was treasonous.
Yeah. I think that's a big loophole is the parole/asylum designation. You guys realize we never really talked about that much. It was legitimately used for like Vietnamese people right in the middle of the Vietnam War, like real refugees. And then they just expanded that definition to include basically anyone who's ever faced hardship ever in the world.
Yeah. Are you tired? Come vote for us.
We'll fly you in. We got a plane going from Caracas.
Yeah. And then we have some numbers here of the numbers of Social Security cards that were given.
Number of illegals given Social Security numbers during the Biden administration, 270K in 2021, 590 in 2022, almost 1 million in 23, and then 2 million in 2024.
2 million on the way out.
Yeah.
And how much is an election when it comes to like a close election? A couple 100,000 votes?
Yeah, 1 million. I mean, it's usually the popular vote numbers, and then in a specific state, it's 100, less than 100K. Wisconsin,
Crazy.
states like that, razor thin.
And you think, well, Wisconsin, there's no migrants there. And it's like, that's where they
The
dump
Afghan,
them.
That's where they dump
Where
them.
they dump them.
Madison, Wisconsin.
All right. And we have some remittances updates. Trump's trying to block remittances, anything over $2,000. Can you read that?
Yeah, as part of his escalating crackdown on illegals, President Trump's Treasury has issued a memo stating it will be seizing remittances sent abroad by illegal aliens, with all suspicious transactions over $2,000 to be flagged.
That's good, but it should be all remittances.
Should be $200. Should be nothing.
$2,000, you just keep sending $19.99 over and over.
Do we get any remittances? You know what I mean? We're just the sucker. We're the World Bank sucker.
No one sends me anything.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody goes to Poland and then sends me back cash because the wages are so good there. It's just a net loss every year, and we take it for some reason. So at least this is a start. Here's outgoing remittances from the United States to other countries: India, China, Philippines, Mexico, Guatemala. Guatemala's hitting above its weight right there.
Wow, a lot of Guatemala.
Yeah, too many.
So if you guys want
Nigeria.
Is that from Texas?
That's everywhere. Nigerians are kind of all
Oh, I
around.
thought the graph was associated with the states.
Oh, no, I think it's just in America.
A little bit
in general.
everywhere. So if you guys want to send us some remittances, use the special thanks button in the comment section. Send us some remittances. All right, our next story is my favorite part of the migrant section. There's this hick lib, is that what they call him?
Yeah, Hicklib.
Hick lib, which is like a country guy, but I'm a Democrat.
But I love Obama.
Yeah, this guy is a country singer, and
These are coveted. They're coveted amongst the left because he's blue collar, he works hard, he's this guy. And so they wear them like skin suits. They really try to elevate these types.
they think it helps their cause because it's like, oh, we're normal white American blue collar people too. This guy's a country singer, and listen to what he says about the illegals that are here working.
Oh, well, they came here illegally, Brian. Shut the fuck up. You know what the only difference between folks in small towns and undocumented immigrants is? We were lucky enough to be born here. That's it. They are farmers like you. They're welders like you. They're roofers like you. They're factory workers, landscapers, and providers just like you. They work their ass off to give their families a better life, and they love this country for giving them that opportunity, just like you. So yeah, I'll sing my country damn music to those folks any day of the fucking week, because call me crazy, but that shit makes you pretty fucking small town in my book. I could give a flying fuck's less where you were born. And
Okay, so the illegals are competing with Americans for medium-skilled jobs, and there's millions of them.
Yeah, they're roofers.
Got it.
Yeah, he lists the jobs, but that's called accidentally admitting it.
Yeah.
He didn't. He's making an emotional appeal to the kinds of people they are, and then he accidentally admits they're competing for all the same jobs.
All the blue-collar jobs that Americans can have, the roofing and welding and carpet guys. Oops.
And the only difference between you and them is you were lucky enough to be born here.
And that's another thread we're seeing where like the left has like this godless way of looking at the world where like everyone is just randomly placed by luck. Where it's
Yes.
like, oh, there's a pregnant woman, random soul goes into that body. It could have been you. You were born in a suburb in Chicago. Oh, you could have been born in mainland China to some rice farmer.
Yep.
They have like this thing of like it's all random, but it's really not. Like we have a tweet that shows a way of looking at it.
Yeah, the lefty type of way. This is like the math whatever way of it. It says your odds of being born in one of the rich places are basically non-existent. Count your blessings. And it shows the United States or North America, 3%. China, 50%. China, India, that subcontinent area. Africa, 34%. So it's just a population chart. That's all this is.
You're 1 in 8 billion.
Yeah.
What's the odds there? And then Memetic Sisyphus had a great reply. Can you read those 2 tweets?
Yeah, well, the odds of me being born in America were 100%. That's the other way of looking at it, because you exist in the context of your parents. You don't exist. You weren't just a dice roll and it wasn't 67% on Mumbai. You exist because your parents and what their ancestors did
And your
so
lineage
forth.
and your heritage and the decisions that like hundreds of people before you made up until this point. And we have some deeper context from Memetic Sisyphus as well.
Yeah, he's been talking about this for a long time, and he said the left pushes this point of randomness to disconnect you from your past, to dispossess you of your heritage. I could not have been born elsewhere because I could only have been born to my parents. My being was not loaded up, then randomly assigned to parents. I came from a line of causation that has made the material conditions of my upbringing possible. My life was not random. It was built and handed down to me.
That's what I like.
Yeah, that's clean.
Clean, Memetic Sisyphus. Well done.
So now that we've disproven they were was lucky to be born in the wrong country or something, now the video, we've boiled it down, is guy promoting his country music and saying they are taking their jobs. Yeah. So thank you, buddy, for your service. Appreciate you.
So, yeah, they're taking all the jobs that we could take. And how many are there? 50 to 70 million? Oh, yeah, you showed us.
Hell yeah, brother. Play that country song.
Yeah, meet me in the AGAT for an Oklahoma drill, brother. It's not a threat. It's an offer.
Get blown up.
I would love to. And then we have another guy who accidentally tells the truth. I don't know his name, but he seems to be...
Wajahat Ali?
I forgot.
Wajahat.
Waj.
How many Wajahats were in your elementary school? Big zero.
We call him Waj.
How many were in my county? Maybe one.
Yeah.
Tops.
And he accidentally says the quiet part out loud as well.
You have lost. You lost. The mistake that you made is you let us in the first place. See, that's the thing with brown people. And I'm going to say this as a brown person. There's a lot of us. Like a lot. There's like 1.2 billion in India. There's more than 200 million in Pakistan. There's like 170 million in Bangladesh. Those are just the people there. I'm even talking about the folks who are expats or immigrants. There's a bunch of us. And we breed. We're a breeding people. And the problem is you let us in 1965. There were a few of us beforehand. But once you let one of us in, you know what happens with brown folks? Our grandmother comes, our grandfather comes, our uncle comes, our aunt comes, our cousin comes, our second cousin comes, our third cousin comes. Then we have kids, a bunch of kids. And then guess what? Some white women, the Western civilization women, the pure women, the American women, quote unquote, the Rust Belt women, the real women, they like some of us brown folks. We don't take them.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah. We know the game.
Everyone keeps coming. The cousin and then your uncle and your grandfather. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, I saw someone talking about how the scariest thing is less than 2% of India is in the West. Less than 2% of India is in the West, and they're already becoming burdensome in like Canada and stressing the systems everywhere. H-1Bs are horrible. And, he just admits it on accident. I guess it's on purpose. It's kind of like a threat.
And it's like too late to fix. It's like it's already past the critical mass points, past the point of no return. So it's like, yeah, you made a mistake. It's over.
He's gloating. Yeah, that's
gloating.
why remigration and denaturalization.
And that's the key,
important.
Denaturalization. And I saw this boomer shirt I wanted to talk about because I want to address the idea behind it.
It's the boomer shirt says, support the country you live in or live in the country you support.
And that's not the right take. That's like the Brylan Hollahan take.
Okay.
Where it's like, anyone who's illegal needs to go. And it's not. All third worlders need to go. The asylum seekers, the refugees, the visas. Even because even if you came here illegally, the legally aspect has been exploited.
Yeah.
So a lot of people need to go back that are here legally.
Yeah, if this guy was born here and he's talking like this about the country, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about the laws, right?
Yeah, the process was exploited entirely. So the part of the problem was the legally. H-1Bs, those are all legal.
We're going to reverse the Hart-Celler Act. You're going back. All those. If you pronounce Bangladesh like that, like you did in the video, you can go there. Yeah. You can have fun there.
You're going to love it.
Yeah. You're gonna love it, dude. You're going to have fun.
And then
So that's just accidentally admitting it, right? Or whether it's an accident or not. even when they're trying to argue for it or argue for whatever their beliefs are, appeal to you on some way, then they accidentally give up the game in another way, right?
And that's another example. We have another example of that in this next thing. People are saying that denaturalization is like ethnic cleansing or whatever. We're going to kind of go over what was said and then the replies. Can you read the Homeland Security tweet?
Yeah, the Homeland Security said the stakes have never been higher. The goal has never been more clear. Remigration now, right? Remigration. Send people back, remigrate them.
And then Senator Scott Wiener,
that gay guy from California,
literal gay guy,
he said they pretty much want to ethnically cleanse the United States of anyone who doesn't descend from the Mayflower. Don't think for a minute they're just talking about other people. They're talking about you.
So he's saying that remigration is ethnic cleansing. And then Jack Posobiec had a good tweet replying to the same, to a tweet like that.
Yeah, some other leftist said, by the way, reverse migration is ethnic cleansing. So they want to do wordplay, ethnic cleansing. I mean, sending someone back to the country they came from. Is that ethnic cleansing?
Yeah.
When I think of ethnic cleansing, I think of the Hutus and the Tutsis and just mass graves and
lining people up and shooting them and then just dumping them in a hole.
That's ethnic cleansing. Sending people on a flight back is like pretty generous.
To the country they came from.
Yeah.
Seems pretty nice.
And Jack Posobiec said, and just like that, they admit mass migration is ethnic replacement. Because if it's ethnic cleansing one way, then mass importing them in is ethnic replacement. So they just only care if it goes one way. If white people are disenfranchised because the population of their country drastically shifted within 10 years, right?
That's a good point.
If white people, they don't care if 53 million foreign-born people are in a country of, 375 million at this point? Mm-hmm. They don't give a fuck if the highest percent on record. They only care if someone has to take a flight back to Guatemala.
It's very true.
And they can't send the money back anymore.
And then we have some definitions here to clear things up as well.
Remigration is an originally European far-right proposal of ethnic cleansing via the mass deportation of non-white immigrants and their descendants. So that's what Google says this?
Yeah, so remigration is a far-right ethnic cleansing thing. And then can you read that one as well?
This is ethnic cleansing, a definition from migration, from the UN maybe. Rendering an area ethnically homogenous by using force or intimidation to remove from a given area persons of another ethnic or religious group, which is contrary to international law. International law, by the way, fake and gay.
Yeah.
International law is only enforced by the US, Russia, China. It's all just like us talking to each other and being like, hey, can we create a couple rules here? And then we go and blow up the Venezuelan boats. It's all fake and gay. The US has never sent a US service member to The Hague for a trial of any kind. That's like a hard line in the sand where we just don't do that. That's for different people. That's if you lose a war.
Yeah. But there is a revisionist history here where now remigration and ethnic cleansing, the new definitions are all whatever Trump's trying to do right now.
Yeah, whatever Trump just mentioned 2 weeks ago.
And then we have from Bolshevik.org, this is from the Marxist Revolution Handbook. Can you read that, please?
It says, in the U.S., we defend Mexican workers apprehended by La Migra, that's immigration. We oppose all immigration quotas, all roundups, and all deportations of immigrant workers. In the unions, we fight for the immediate and unconditional granting of full citizenship rights to all foreign-born workers. That's the Bolshevik.
So their plan has always been to load up our country with people from elsewhere and give them as much support, rights, and resources as possible just to disenfranchise the native-born people.
Sounds familiar. Sounds like something I've experienced over the last 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah, crazy. And then we have a tweet here. President Trump confirms that 0 third worlders will be let into the United States. And that sounds nice.
Yeah.
Except somehow in the small print, India is not considered a third world country anymore.
Fuck! Yeah.
So that's not good. Mm-hmm. And then we have another story.
And we showed you. We showed, I think, last episode about the H-1Bs outpacing the deportations,
Yeah.
So that's a huge problem.
Huge problem. And then we showed this clip, I think, a while ago, but it was the woman in the van who rammed into ICE and then fled. Mm-hmm. We're playing it here in the background. This woman was let go with no charges. So there she goes. She's fleeing ICE. I believe she rams into them.
Do you ever drive on the grass like that to whip around federal officers?
Nope. almost runs him over, and then she didn't get into trouble at all. So that's kind of sending a message.
Ouchie.
And now we're heading to our Tim Walz Somali scam section. It's a little bit of reading, and I'm sure you guys have seen these stories, but we're going to keep it somewhat concise.
Yeah, I'm not going to read this whole thing. This is from a Twitter account called the Minnesota Department of Human Services Employees. And their bio says, we are over 400 employees of human services in Minnesota. And they're trying to kind of draw attention to what happened to them. And basically the first paragraph is what's key here, so I'll read that. Tim Walz is 100%, this is regarding all the Somali fraud that happened.
And these are whistleblowers, basically.
Pretty much. Tim Walz is 100% responsible for massive fraud in Minnesota. We let Tim Walz know of fraud early on, hoping for a partnership in stopping fraud. But no, we got the opposite response. Tim Walz systematically retaliated against whistleblowers using monitoring, threats, repression, and did his best to discredit fraud reports. Instead of partnership, we got the full weight of retaliation by Tim Walz, certain DFL members, and an indifferent mainstream media. It's scary, isolating, and left us wondering who we can turn to.
Yeah, can you read that second paragraph too? That one's actually good.
In addition to retaliating against the whistleblower, Tim Walz disempowered the Office of the Legislative Auditor, allowing agencies to disregard their audit findings and guidance. Media and politicians supported Tim Walz or the DFL agenda attacked whistleblowers who were trying to raise red flags on fraudulent activities.
So they attacked the whistleblowers.
It's basically a big cover-up. People were trying to alert Tim Walz of the massive increase in fraud that was happening in Minnesota by Somalis, for the most part. And Tim Walz ignored it, downplayed it, and basically covered it up. And it just so happens, we've shown some of the increases in the scam rate, where some home service thing went from $3 million to $10 million to 180 to 399 million by the end of, 2024. And that just happens to coincide with Tim Walz being picked as the vice president.
Crazy.
For the United States of America. So that's, I think, a huge part of the cover-up.
We have millions in scams here, millions there, and it all adds up to about $1 billion minimum of scam money stolen. And then Tim Walz was asked about it on MSNBC or NBC, and this is what he said.
Dozens of people of East African descent have been charged, convicted, and sentenced for stealing more than $1 billion in taxpayer money from government programs during COVID. As you know, Governor, that is more than Minnesota spends each year to run its Department of Corrections. So I want to give you a chance to respond to this. Do you take responsibility for failing to stop this fraud in your state?
Well, certainly I take responsibility for putting people in jail. Governors don't get to just talk theoretically. We have to solve problems. And I will note, it's not just Somalis. Minnesota is a generous state. Minnesota is a prosperous state, a well-run state. We're AAA bond rated, but that attracts criminals. Those people are going to jail. We're doing everything we can. But to demonize an entire community on the actions of a few, it's lazy.
It's not all Somalis. That's the big takeaway.
Yeah.
And we have a list of the people, the 70-something people that were doing the fraud.
This was just for one of the scams. There's 3 big silos of scams. This is just for the Feeding Our Future scam. And we start with an American name, Amy Marie Bach. And then we go to Abdikarim Abdullah Idullah, Salim Ahmed Saeed, Abdulkar Nur Salah, Ahmed Sharif Umar. You guys get it. It goes on, and it's basically, and then Dorothy Jean Moore. What the fuck were you doing with the Somalis, bitch?
Sharon Ross.
Yeah.
Shame on you, Sharon Ross.
Shame on all of you guys who fell in with the Somali
crowd. These people
crowd.
have 60 IQ and don't know any better. And they come from a system of piracy.
Yeah. What's your excuse?
You, Sharon Ross.
You were born and raised in Minnesota.
Yeah, so how about that? It's not just Somalis. And it's like 98% of them.
That's the main point. That's he got ambushed on the news and then he had to defend the Somalis. Here's another thing, just in the context of the Somalis, since we've covered this so much, we're just kind of making little addendums where we feel the need to update. A group of Minnesota Somalis stealing tens of millions of dollars from American taxpayer told Minnesota's Department of Education to pay up for their fake charity or they would call them racist in the media. And it worked. This whole story is utterly repulsive from start to finish. The quote here is, in an email, the group told the state agency that failing to promptly approve new applicants from minority-owned businesses would result in a lawsuit featuring accusations of racism that would be sprawled across the news.
So they figured out how it works here.
That's one of the very first things they figured
out. Let us steal your money or we'll call you racist.
And they know that's the Achilles heel for a certain number of Americans who are afraid of being called racist, right?
Crazy. And then, as we mentioned, Tim Walz says, oh, it's not just Somalis. We do have some studies that were done in Denmark. We may have shown this on the show a few months back, but it's good to revisit. It is a lot of the Somalis. In Denmark, they followed these families up until the age of 30, and listen to what they found.
62% of Somali men in Denmark are convicted of a violent crime by the age of 30. Just an insane stat, 62%.
A violent crime. It's not like you're stealing money off the top. You're assaulting someone.
This is in addition to like being a net drain on society, taking welfare. And so, Tim Walz, what number? What percent? Until you say Somalis aren't that great. It has to be at 100%? Convicted of a violent crime before 30?
I know a good Somali guy.
Yeah, I know one good Somali guy, and he might be stealing out of my wallet when I turn my back, but I can't prove it yet.
He needs the money.
Yeah, it's not all Somalis. And so broader picture, let's zoom out a little bit here. We know we've been dunking on the Somalis and stuff. There's something scary about this where what do you think is happening in the state of California? What do you think is happening in Seattle or Washington or Portland? What do you think is happening in the state of Massachusetts with that stupid Asian woman Boston mayor?
I hate that woman.
Somalis just happen to be so fucking stupid and greedy that it's becoming an international story, right? And they happen to fund terror with the money. What about all the people who are just scamming and do a job that pays them in cash so they can stay on the welfare teat in California? All these patronage networks in a bunch of leftist states, even states like Texas, where the scam is just like, shh, keep it down. We don't want to get caught. Too much. Can't get caught like the Somalis.
So true.
So this type of shit is happening everywhere. We just happen to be shining a flashlight on it because Tim Walz is a putz and Somalis got greedy. So, and then the other interesting part is the DNC, Kamala's people, this type of shit comes up in a background check on a VP candidate.
And they still said, run it.
This guy. Minnesota hasn't flipped red in like 20 years, maybe more. I don't remember the exact election. We need this fucking idiot.
Crazy.
So, tip of the iceberg shit, guys.
Tip of the iceberg is worse in other states. Good to know. Let's go abroad and finish our migrant section up. We're going to go quick through this.
We kind of have a huge migrant section. We have a little less urban than usual. So, if you guys realized you're stuck on housekeeping on minute 60, you might be questioning what happened.
We're going to go fast.
All right.
There was an IT worker from the UK who was arrested after posting a picture with a gun in America, a legal gun. He's like shooting skeet or something.
He's shooting a shotgun like visibly in Florida, like on the off a lake somewhere. IT consultant was arrested by police in Britain after he posted a picture online of himself posing with a gun in the US. And they like tortured this guy. Like he didn't commit a crime, but he was like under investigation. He was like detained, and I think it took like 13 days and cost him money. He had to get a solicitor, I believe they call it in the UK.
I think they took his phone too.
Yeah, so like the process is the punishment. They don't actually get you. You can eventually prove, but you did wrong think while you were in America, mate.
He posted a picture with a gun, shooting a shotgun. And then it's different than how they treat other people in the UK. Derby councillor Ajit Atwal will not resign over AK-47 Twitter picture. Yeah. And that one looks a little worse.
That's a lot worse. That guy's militant.
So, that's an interesting takeaway.
That's how bad it's gotten across the pond, guys.
You know better.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have another criminal, migrant criminal. He murdered an 87-year-old man for a box of cornflakes, a pint of milk, and a Savoy sausage.
Savoy sausage? I don't know what the British are eating over there. Mm-hmm. But the phrase mystery meat?
Mm-hmm.
I would never say that. But I don't know what background this guy's from. He shouldn't be anywhere near Europe.
I don't know what
Cro-Magnon.
I don't know what era this guy is from.
Is there a time machine portal right where this 87-year-old man came from?
That would explain maybe why he freaked out.
And you know what? This is a point we've made. I mean, we're doing bits because the guy's got a fucking mugshot that you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, and the 87-year-old guy is dead.
87-year-old guy is dead. And then this is a theme we've talked about before. 87, you grew up in a world that is so far from the world that you died in and you were killed by that it's like a joke. 87, think about it. London in the 50s, coal-powered London, London fog.
Austin Powers.
Oh, Austin Powers was there.
James Bond.
70s. All that good shit. That green Jaguar. All that stuff they had. Barber jackets.
James Bond.
And now you get killed by some mystery meat man.
From 5 million BC.
And you basically couldn't even imagine this happening when you were a young man. You know?
Super sad. And then is that the end of our abroad section?
I think there might be one more.
I think there's
thing. This is just the UK.
Yeah, we have Brussels. This is from a Christmas market in Brussels. Here's what that looks like.
The Palestinian types started blowing smoke and made it about them.
Merry Christmas.
Christ is born. Christmas. Christ is born.
Not pretty. So that's that. That's the end of our migrant section. Any closing thoughts before we move on to the final page?
Third worlders commit more fraud. The more third worlders we bring here, the more fraud we have. We've barely scratched the surface of how much money it's costing U.S. taxpayers for our own demise. We're fucked. We're fucked if we don't do something. And that's why we need to do something really bad right now. And we'll wait and see how much Trump's tweets translate to policy. One more closing thought. Trump administration, the National Guard shooter, he had different levels of like visa or whatever from being evacuated from Afghanistan. And there was one final leg of his like immigration process that was approved by the Trump administration this year. And obviously that's not Donald Trump stamping a piece of paper or whatever, but seeing that kind of shit pisses me off. And we need to be reversing stuff. We need to be totally reevaluating everything. Like picking up every secret wasteful thing and going, why is this guy here? Why is this guy here? Denied, denied, denied. Airplane back, airplane back. Because obviously it's not the Trump administration's fault that an Afghan translator or whatever came in 2021, but something can be done about it now. Mm-hmm. And we don't need to wait until American service members are killed to do that thing. We have the good instincts, right, guys?
Yeah,
so
that's a good point.
That's another part that kind of pisses me off.
Put a fat guy with a mustache in charge of approvals.
Who's the guy from Blue Bloods? Who's the guy from Blue Bloods? Tom Selleck? Find a guy that looks like him.
What do you think, Tom?
What do you think Tom Selleck look like?
I don't know.
Do one of these for me, Tom Selleck lookalike.
I don't think we should let this guy in.
He'll do better than any Biden era employee ever.
Or any lady.
That's it.
All right, we're now moving on to the final page of housekeeping. Use the opportunity to
tickle the post, juice the algo, tickle.
Leave a like.
Leave a like. Leave a comment.
Comment again.
Comment again. P.O. Box. You have to go to the P.O. Box.
Notifications.
Send it to the boys in the group chat. Old episodes. Watch our last couple episodes.
We got hit on those bad algo-wise.
Mm-hmm. We're fighting. We're fighting.
We're fighting, guys. We're trying to stay alive. And then send us remittances in the form of special thanks. All right, our final page of housekeeping. It's light. It's light because I don't have an Instagram, so I don't have anything to look at.
Yeah, the schizo pipeline is kind of going down.
I don't have any inspiration.
Mm-hmm. You got to train a new algo.
I have to send like handwritten letters to Oliver Cho now.
I know.
How do I even talk to my guy?
You can't.
First, we have an alien thing that actually is important. Can you read that?
New fun Reddit UFO LARP. A whistleblower claims a galactic council has monitored Earth for ages, created an advanced breakaway human civilization, hid tech via crashes, warns hostile aliens arrive 2027, and says major powers secretly received advanced scalar weapons to prepare. And he looks like a cricket type of guy.
Yeah, he's a cryptid. And I was invited to the breakaway civilization. I don't know if I'm going to go.
Okay.
But there are some small...
You got a +1?
There are some small notes. I can get you there.
Okay.
There are some small notes on that post. They're not arriving in 2027. They're already here. But in 2027 is when shit hits the fan, and then there's the breakaway.
Okay, cool.
And it's going to escalate. And on top of that...
What should our audience do to prepare?
Well...
Is there anything to do?
I'm going to tell you what not to do.
Okay.
This is Project Bluebeam, PSYOP, government, Palantir. What's the other one? Raytheon. It's like those types of guys are going to make this, the holograms or whatever, and you're going to see the ships, and you're going to go, oh, man, we're being attacked by aliens. This is so scary. And they're going to try to convince everyone that it was never about God, and God's not real. These aliens are the real thing, and this is where life came from, and God's not a thing. And then they're going to try to convince us to give UBI to the migrants, universal basic income.
That's where you step in.
They're going to say, oh, you're all one race. You're all one people. You need to come together and support each other. You're all one thing. And it's going to be fucking commie shit.
Okay. So stay away from that.
They're going to say, oh, you got to support your neighbor. Your neighbor's this Somali guy. We need one.
You're the same as this Somali guy. Look at his forehead. Look at his bulbous head. You're the exact same.
That's what they're going to try and do. And they're going to go, you guys should have one leader. What's like a one government? You should have, your world should be one government leader and put him in charge.
Maybe Ilhan Omar. Maybe it's Ilhan.
Maybe Gavin Newsom. Maybe Macron. And then they're going to try to do that and then do like hundreds of years of progress with one alien invasion.
Okay.
So don't let that happen. Then there's
Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
There's a rat boy Doppel.
The surgeon who cut his legs off. We covered this, right?
Yeah, but he's a Doppel, and he came back around.
He pleads guilty after purposely amputating legs for sexual fetish.
Looks exactly. That's like the closest Doppel I've ever seen of you. That looks exactly like you.
He probably strokes his shit so much harder now.
Now that his legs are gone?
Yeah. That's his fetish.
He's fucked up.
He goes crazy.
All right, well, that's the end of housekeeping. We're now moving on to Cringe of the Week. All right, our first story from Cringe of the Week is a girl who has an entire account dedicated to fake conversations with her abusive mom.
You want to just go into it? This is like a girl. I don't want to be too mean.
We're not going to be mean.
But it's like about eating. And she bubbled up because of Thanksgiving, which I guess is some sort of trigger, being around mom. And here's what the videos look like.
Oh, honey, are you sure you want to eat something that heavy? We're going to have so much food tonight.
I am. I'm hungry, and I'm going to be hungry again in 5 hours when it's time for Thanksgiving dinner.
There's one. Let's just rip them back to back to back.
Honey, why aren't you dressed? We're leaving for the turkey trot in a few minutes.
Yeah, my body doesn't really feel like running today, so I think I'm going to stay back.
Oh, are you okay?
No, Mom. I don't want to hear about your diet or hear how you're so stuffed you couldn't possibly fathom having another bite while I'm still eating my Thanksgiving dinner. And I don't want to go on a walk with you after to burn it off. Definitely don't need you.
Then we have a little compilation of like the whole profile is this.
No, Mom. I don't want to hear about your diet.
Honey, why aren't you dressed? We're leaving for the turkey trot in a few minutes.
Yeah, my body doesn't...
Oh, honey, are you sure you want to eat something that heavy?
No, Mom. I don't want to hear about your diet.
Oh, honey, are you sure you want to eat that?
You're not making content about the migrants, I see.
Yeah, we got bigger fish to fry than mom being like minorly snarky to you.
And like looking out for your health. And at least your mom gave you a whole social media career and TikTok following. At least she gave you that.
Yeah, dude, I don't know what this is like where there's some sort of softness where you just kind of let things affect you way more than they should.
Yeah.
And this is like, your mom's kind of a health nut lady. Whatever. My mom's scared of flying. She doesn't like to fly with the whole family. She thinks we all go down. Takes a little bit of anxiety pill. You know, so...
It's a comment. Your mom made a comment, you know?
That's what I'm saying. It's not lunging for your face and being, get that food out of your mouth, you fat fuck. Yeah. It's not like abuse. There's this thing, and then you're making these little small things, and you turn it into like, my mom's an abusive person or something, and you have an eating disorder now.
And that's your mom. That's your only mom. And then your parents are old, too, and they're not going to be around forever. And then when you look back on what's left and what you have, you're gonna have
crying at their funeral going, what do I have to remember her by?
I wish I said goodbye. And what do you have to remember her by? A bunch of TikToks where you were really mean to her, to everyone else in the world.
And then the skit is like you just saying some completely normal thing. Like, yeah, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat this. And there's nothing.
And I'll tell you this. There were a few times growing up where my mom would say like, hey, stop eating those cookies. We're going to have dinner soon. Mm-hmm. She was right.
Look at him.
Look what happened.
His mom, if she was a little more heavy-handed, she could have stopped this.
Yeah, look what happened. She was absolutely right. I was eating too much.
So
I was eating shit. You're eating Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, I don't want to be too mean to the random girl, but man, can everybody just toughen up a little bit?
Yeah.
What happened to like letting shit roll off your back? People have really bad childhoods. Some people get really fucked up. And then your mom's like, oh, honey, we're jogging with the family.
Go for a walk.
Yeah,
Go do the turkey trot.
cares?
That's what you guys are into. Go do the turkey trot. All right, let's get to our next story. They're in the process of making an artificial womb, and they made one for a lamb that was like halfway through its pregnancy.
Yeah, what you're seeing is not science fiction. It's a lamb fetus. He's in the bag. In place of the mother is this artificial womb. The experiment is from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. And it's just a first step. Ultimately, scientists hope to help premature human babies. Each year, 30,000 Americans are born at 26 weeks or younger. And the second they take that first breath of air, their lungs stop developing.
So we get it.
Yeah.
They're making an artificial womb, and they're saying it's for premature babies, but it probably could be a fast-track, slippery slope to the Matrix.
Okay, yeah, for sure. That does look like the Matrix. They had the same things, those little neck holes.
Dave Rubin probably likes this.
Oh, yeah. He probably, who can I pay? What can I buy? How many children can I buy?
How many children can I buy? And then if you think about it, there is a world where soon people aren't even able to have kids anymore. Then the government owns these artificial wombs, and you have to apply to have your own baby.
And who gets granted the application?
Migrants.
Somalis.
That's a good point. And we do have some of the context here. It wasn't just a full artificial thing. It was like
they were 100. The lambs were 105 to 120 days into the pregnancy, the equivalent of human infants at 22 to 24 weeks. So they're testing it out.
But that's where they start.
Yeah.
And then soon it'll be, well, we'll just do the sperm and the egg, and we'll just build it in this sack, and then you can apply to get your own baby.
To
or
be
who
fair,
knows what they do.
Helping premature babies is a noble cause, right?
Yeah,
you get the lung problems, the health issues. You're just worried about how slippery the slope is.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever seen a slope that just doesn't slip.
They all slip.
Yeah.
And then some leftists are looking at this as like an opportunity to make women even less.
Yeah, this guy says pregnancy is an insane cost on women and humanity. Progress on artificial wombs is as close to objective good as you'll get in science. And the hate that this technology is receiving is baffling.
And he's like making it like pregnancy is bad for women. Like everything exists because women got pregnant.
Yeah, the cost on women and humanity. And what is humanity?
Getting birthed out of a lady at some point.
It's pregnancy, yeah. And then it's a man and a woman. And
then there was like a good reply to this that's kind of like the IQ horseshoe theory.
Yeah, the profound idiocy of not intuiting that the mother-child bond and consequently the foundations of the individual's self-image, a direct consequence thereof, begins in the biological womb. Imagine being born from a plastic bag. You don't hate these Bay Area rationalists enough.
Very true.
Yeah.
Getting born in a bag. That's like the Matrix.
Yeah. They're trying to, don't they make you go skin to skin with your dad now? Even that is like...
Even that helps.
Go get born in a bag, bitch.
Yeah.
You'll be the super autistic worst person ever.
Pretty much.
We'll see. But I don't know. You know, it's noble if you want to help premature babies with the little lamb pig bag. But the trend to make this everybody so women can spare their bodies and perpetually stay young...
Not good.
Not a good slope.
And then who knows if people are even going to be able to have, like, I'm going to cook a little bit here. The Maxine. You guys remember the Maxine?
Yeah, Waters.
So Maxine gets put into everybody who took it, right? And then the next generation is born. And then is that generation going to be able to have their own babies? We don't know yet because they're all babies or like under 5 years old.
Okay.
And we're going to find out, and then soon it's going to be like, oh, no, anyone who was a baby when their parents got the vaccine can't have their own children. Shit in the bag, and we'll make a baby for you.
Okay, yeah.
I think.
Okay.
I've seen movies like that.
Yeah, a lot of movies.
That's how it goes. And where's a movie? Predictive programming.
Okay.
Let's get to our next story. Private equity is taking over youth hockey, and they're making it insufferable.
Doing this is about to become illegal. That's right. Wall Street is working on prohibiting filming your kids at sporting events. This is reporting by The Lever, quote, Black Bear Sports Group, an emerging youth hockey empire and the largest owner-operator of hockey rinks in the country, is among the private equity-backed companies that are amassing a chokehold on recording and streaming youth sports. At Black Bear-owned ice rinks, parents cannot record, post, or live stream their kids' hockey games online, per official company policy, according to staff at those venues. Some rink attendants said that they will confiscate attendees' recording devices if they find them. Confiscating phones, banning parents from filming their kids playing sports. Like, what are we doing here, America? Well, evidently, Black Bear is trying to get parents to buy their streaming service that costs between $25 to $50 a month just to watch their kids play sports. Just out of comparison, Netflix is like $17.99 a month, okay? Now, Black Bear Sports Group, the company that's buying up all of the local sporting facilities, is owned by a private equity firm called Blackstreet Capital. The CEO is this guy named Murray Gunty, and he used to also work at Blackstone Group. You know, the company that's buying up all the houses and killing the American dream. Yeah, that one. Somebody wrote this in a recent review saying that Black Bear Sports Group is a business that, quote, acts like they care about youth sports. Every rink they buy up to add to their monopoly ends up neglected and run down. They're driving the price of youth hockey way up while rinks are breaking down. Not sure what they're improving with all the money they're stealing from players' families.
So they're trying to put all of the stuff behind the paywall.
Private equity is charging you to even watch your kids, and you can't film them.
And it's another example of how private equity groups are making things worse while extracting the money. Like they're just like wringing people out who already don't have a lot of money and already have a hard time making ends meet.
Yeah, and hockey's an expensive sport. Hockey is pretty expensive compared to other sports. Basketball, nothing. Soccer, nothing, or cheap. Travel baseball, hockey, when you get to the instruments, you need the bats, the sticks, the skates. It gets expensive. According to a recent study from the Aspen Institute, households now spend an average of $1,000 a year on their child's primary sport, a 46% increase since 2019. So it's a short time frame, right?
The cost is going up, and then they're trying to make it even worse.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting gouged and milked like pigs.
Real pig shit, real milky.
Yeah.
Yeah, pay for it.
And it's like we see this trend where the private equity groups get involved and they ruin it. We've seen that with restaurants. Saw that with Panera. It's $10 now for a cup of shitty soup. The quality of ingredients has gone down. The price has gone up. The amount you get has gone down. It's a trend we see a lot. And then it's also something we see in Disney. It's a little different, more of a corporation thing. But at Disney, this guy is posting this video, $86 for a pizza.
Like, so we're at Alien Pizza Planet, right? And I'm looking at the prices and their pizzas and all that. Look at how much they're charging for a whole pizza, guys. Whole 16-inch pizza. Pepperoni, $86.
$86 for a pizza.
Come on, you got to feed your family. You're at Disney. It has to be magical, right? It's $85.
And they're
like,
hungry.
Cough. They can't even like tell this to you with a straight face, you know? Like you, the customer, and then the employee goes, $86. And the employee goes, yeah, I know. Like they roll your eyes. Like there's some corporate entity in the background.
We're on your side.
Absolutely ripping you off. And the server's like, yeah, it's just my job. It's just...
Let me know if you want the pizza.
So I don't know what the point of this is. Obviously, like private equity is kind of getting a bad rep recently. Panera, a lot of the restaurants. I think they just bought private equity, just bought out Jersey Mike's. We're waiting to see all these good places get ruined and corners cut. But then it goes the same way with Disney, where the American consumer is just like being prodded and tested for how much milk they can give you. How much milk can the little piggy give? And when you're at Disney, piggy gets milked. Piggy gets a lot.
You get milked bad.
So what's the point? Don't do rip-off shit. Don't just get suckered. Say no. Fund alternatives. You know? A lot of these things, it's like we wait until we monopolize it, then we milk the pig.
And milking the pig doesn't feel good for the pig.
I know. The pig hates getting milked.
It hurts.
It only feels good for one party, the guy drinking the milk later.
Yeah.
$87 pizza or $85.
And you milk and there's not even milk coming out. You're just yanking on me.
Yeah. And then when the piggy runs out of milk, you bring in migrants. And
then they slaughter the pig.
Oh, my God.
What comes after the milking and the milk's gone? You slaughter the pig and eat bacon.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up the segment with some more consumerism. We're going to play this a little bit fast in the background at 2x speed, but this is a woman getting a Birkin bag, $35,000 birthday present. She's got to put gloves on to get it. She's got stupid tattoos with this fat guy who buys it for her.
Daddy boy.
Daddy boy shit. And
they make it a whole thing. They make it a whole process. Here, I undo it for you.
This is the Rolex for women.
Yeah.
And it's like a collectible thing. I looked it up. To make it, it's like $1,000 to $2,000, and it takes 24 hours of work by hand.
Yeah.
And they're made in France, and it's exclusive. There's only 70,000 made a year, which is why they're so expensive. So this girl's all excited about this, and obviously, if you're the guy, I don't know. It's never a good sign if your girl is obsessed with Birkin bags and luxury goods.
If you're rich,
But if you're in some sort of daddy boy relationship, I guess it's fun for him.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, this consumerism thing, I don't know. The artificially keeping shit down. Maybe our point is just be smart. Don't get sucked into stuff. Rolex guys, I guess there's the argument that some of these things retain their value and you can trade them. But how many of you are doing that? How many of you are selling the top of the Rolex market in 2021? Right?
It's a good question.
How many of you are selling the top of the Birkin market?
I saw a watch on Instagram the other day before I lost my account, and it was the gold watch that Tony Soprano had, the gold Rolex with the diamonds.
And?
It was $18,000.
Oh, Piggy turned over, wanted to get milked. Piggy wanted to get milked.
So I'm not buying it, but I don't know if someone has it out there and wants to take one watch out of their collection if they have the Tony Soprano day date.
Are you asking for a watch remittance?
I'm wondering.
Piggy wants to get milk.
Guys.
And Piggy doesn't want to give the milk
I don't
up.
care about watches. You know that.
I don't wear watches.
I don't even wear them, but if I was going to get a watch, if I was going to get a Rolex, which one would I want? I don't know about Rolexes. I would want the Tony Soprano Rolex, and I would say, oh, this is the Tony Soprano Rolex. That's cool. And then Christmas is coming.
Yeah.
Put two and two together. If someone out there, maybe one of you guys is really, really rich, and you want to do a bit, and you want to send me the Tony Soprano Rolex, that would be sick. I'll come hang out with you for the weekend if you send me a Tony Soprano Rolex.
You'll suck their dick.
No, I won't. That's disgusting.
You'll be like this girl getting the Birkin. Baby, oh, you got me the Tony Soprano Rolex. How do you turn our Cringe of the Week skit making fun of this woman to doing the same thing yourself? You're a pig.
Maybe that was part of the script.
You're trying to get milked, buddy.
But I would come hang out with you for a whole weekend to receive the gift and to hang out if you were to buy me the Tony Soprano Rolex.
All right.
Let's
move along.
That's the end of our Cringe. That's the end of Cringe. We're now moving on to Urban Decay. All right, our first clip of Urban Decay. Not much to talk about, but it's kind of where Cringe meets Urban. A little bit of an overlap. It's like a trans urban person with a gun.
My brother, Princess. What did I say? I was a man. Y'all said I was a man, so come outside. Come outside for real. Like, dead ass. Like, come outside. What we doing? I'm not understanding.
So can you shoot through the door?
I don't know, man. Florida, maybe. This is a question you ask a lot. He's very curious about shooting through the door.
I've been not paranoid lately, but we did talk about some of the threats Candace Owens was getting. We talked about that in Bonus Land last episode. And I have been carrying the gun around a lot.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, there's a gun right there.
There's one right here.
Everywhere I go, there is a gun right next to me now. All kinds of guns too, and it's for that reason.
All right, smart. I would avoid shooting through the door. Look at the nails on this. I'm having a tough time with AI.
You think this is AI?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. But I know AI can mimic like a ring cam. You can tell it, shoot it in like a ring cam. And I can't imagine these people would do it. You know what's funny? I was telling you this before.
You say, I'm a man, come outside.
Yeah. Brandishing your gun. Two drastically different cultures, right? Like the Second Amendment concealed carry community. If someone brandishes a weapon, it's like open season. Like draw and go crazy with it. But the urban community, brandishing is like part of it. It's part of the dance.
He don't mean anything.
Yeah, he didn't raise the gun, you know.
That's a good point.
But so
they're loose with it.
Someone taking their defense seriously would be like this to these guys. But an urban people would be like, you ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit.
And then them pulling the gun out isn't even that much of an escalation.
Exactly. Come on, we do that all the time.
That's a good point. All right, next, McDonald's needs a McBouncer.
Yeah, where's this, in Queens or the Bronx? New York City McDonald's hired its McBouncer to keep out violent, rowdy teens. Wild packs of rowdy teens have allegedly created so much havoc at a Queens McDonald's that they've hired a McBouncer to keep the kids at bay. But who's the McBouncer?
It's this little lady.
It's this lady, Claudia Zanabria, a McDonald's crew member who survived cancer. Says she was picked to police the teen terrors because she's the toughest employee at the restaurant. And it's a small woman who survived cancer.
Claudia.
McBouncer.
The McBouncer.
It's kind of sad.
It's very sad.
It's getting kind of sad.
And it's like your job is you work at McDonald's. Okay, you get paid like $8 an hour or whatever.
Maybe 15 if it's a city that has
probably
wage.
More with minimum wage in a place like New York. But then what's your job entail? Oh, I put the fries in the bag and I hand people the thing or I do the checkout. No, I'm the bouncer for rowdy teens who are violent and don't get in trouble. Like, that's like a real job.
Yeah. There's a quote that stood out to me from this McBouncer article. This generation is really different. They push me. They disrespect me, she told the Post.
Yeah, the kids are different these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all bad Dominicans.
Yeah, different ethnicities.
That's what like, you're probably used to growing up in a time when America was like somewhat more normal.
Yeah.
The kids these days are not all right.
Yeah, there's not much else. A bunch of cops, they've been called 15 times. Somebody slapped a stranger and filed a police report. It's just a bad neighborhood McDonald's. And now, you know, they used to have McDonald's plastic benches and everything. And like, you basically couldn't trash a McDonald's. And now the behavior is so bad that they need a McBouncer.
Yeah.
America has fallen.
Bad.
Or at least Queens.
All right, let's move on to our next story. These guys claim they were kicked out of their fishing spot because they were black.
Damn, we can't fish here? Damn, we can't fish here because we black? We're black? Yeah, that's what it is? Because we're black? You're not half black? That's crazy. This is the second time you did that. Hey, you just killed the fish.
Yeah, you're fishing at a private pond 20 feet from someone's house with no shirt on, and you're rolling a blunt while making this video.
You couldn't even hide the blunt for the accusing someone of racism video. You couldn't even hide it for that. You, like, muscle memory almost licked the blunt at the very beginning of the recording.
You know how we're always told about white privilege?
Uh-huh.
Like, wouldn't thinking you can smoke blunts while fishing at someone's backyard without repercussions, like, isn't that like the ultimate privilege? You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, that would be great. And in a presumably not legal state, this is probably Florida if this video is recent and during the winter time. But yeah, the big thing is you're basically in someone's backyard, a group of 4. Obviously, you drew attention enough to yourself where someone would have to say, hey, you can't fish here. So you're like allowed to cause noise and chit chat in someone's basically backyard. You see the distance from the lake to the small home.
And you're smoking blunts.
Yeah.
You have no shirts on.
But of course.
And you look like home invaders.
Yeah. We've been covering a lot of Urban Decay, 14-year-olds, 13-year-olds. You guys are a little older than that. I don't trust like that. I do not trust like that. And yeah, you know, if this was a nice, quiet white kid who came by himself and had one of those fishing vests on and a tackle box that his dad bought him from a sporting goods store.
Have fun.
He might get away with it. But yeah, the 4 shirtless blacks, I'm sorry. And you can't fish in my backyard.
And you're smoking blunts in the backyard and you're loud and there's like families around. When would that ever be okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to our next story. Some people in the urban community think that prescription glasses have medicine in them.
Being an adult learning new things. Did you know that medicine is not in glasses?
And I don't know why y'all dragging that woman because yes, glasses do have medicine in it.
You cannot tell me, as a person who wears contacts, there's not medicine in this. If I take this shit up, I'm blind as fuck.
I'm gonna lie. I thought they put medicine in glasses too.
Medicine in glasses? What? Got medicine. Why would I have it's prescriptions?
To be fair, I think the word prescription glasses may have confused them.
Yeah, they heard prescription and they thought it was like cough medicine or something, but they never heard the words bifocals or corrective lenses. They skipped a few lessons. But this is how dumb some of the society at large is. They think there's constant medicine.
And that's what lets you see. And then we take the medicine out. Now you can't see. Kind of makes sense.
It's not just the shape and thickness and convexity of little pieces of glass or plastic in front of your eyes. It's medicine. And as soon as it's removed, the medicine's gone. The medicine needs to be, it's topical. So this one genuinely surprised me.
Yeah, you showed me this and I thought it was a bit, but no, it wasn't. And these people cancel out our votes.
Oh, yeah. They vote for Obama. They vote for whoever.
Kamala.
So I'm paying for a migrant and then this person cancels my vote. It's fucking crazy, guys. I like some of these things. I genuinely learn new things every week doing this show.
Crazy. Let's get to our next story. They're very busy in Pennsylvania combating hair racism.
Yeah, they just signed into law, and this is the press conference. You can't. Your hair is now a protected class. Basically, you cannot discriminate certain hair types or textures because they're black.
Human Relations Commission. The same would happen for our bill because now hair discrimination is part of the protected class of race, which is in the PA Human Relations Act. So they could call their statewide Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission, and there are also satellite offices all across the state.
So if I had to make a list of my political issues, this wouldn't be on the top 10,000.
Yeah, I would never even think this one up.
Hair? Nothing.
It's literally so useless. And this is kind of one of those like black urban community myths. Like they discriminate because my hair. She fired me because I got dreadlocks. It's like they probably fired you because you were black, if anything. Like there's like, if someone was racist, they wouldn't go, fuck that hair. They just like kind of dislike you and then fire you because you were black. And then as long as they didn't put that in an email, they could probably get away with it.
They probably fired you because you came in like 12 minutes late every time and you smoked weed in your car in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm. Something like that.
Yeah. And then bigger picture, what do you think the point of a bill like this is?
It just gives black people, because this is a black bill, an additional avenue to sue employers in the state of Pennsylvania. That's all it really is. They're going to say, well, I had this hair at the job interview and he said, fuck you. And that's a protected class. And it's going to be one of those disparate impact things where nobody can really prove it, but somebody will cave. And it just gives another way for a black woman to be litigious again.
Litigious. And then
there's going to be some ambulance chaser lawyer who specializes in this. And he'll be, I'm not going to say what race the lawyer will be, but you know, it's going to be a different version of ambulance chasing and kind of like fucking over an employer in the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Because Governor Shapiro wants to sign the bill.
And you don't get hired or you get fired and you have stupid hair.
Yeah.
That's illegal.
You can't do that. I just saw the law. You can't do that. And then here we have some stupid haircuts that are part of their cultural heritage.
So now you gotta keep this guy on staff.
Yeah.
All right, it was a light Urban, but that's the end of Urban. We're now moving on to Uplifting Gold, and we have uplifting stuff today. First, there is a hack to not get parking tickets in LA.
San Diego right now in a 2-hour parking zone. The parking enforcement does is they go to your wheel and mark it with chalk every 2 hours, okay? Like this little dot. And then obviously if they come back and the chalk is still there, it means that you've been there way too long. What I've been doing is every 2 hours I come out and I rub off the paint, right? So it's like barely noticeable. But I think they've caught on recently. They added like extra powerful paint to my other wheel, right? No matter how hard I scrub, it won't rub off. So I'm just gonna put this wet, disgusting piece of paper, and then I pissed on this piece of paper, right? So now if the parking enforcement wants to see the extra powerful paint, he's gonna need to have to touch my piss paper. Also, purposely move the wheel so that the paint is facing the bottom, right? So that way this thing won't fly away. So he has to touch my piss if he wants to verify my parking. We're gonna check back on our car later tonight to see whether or not we got a ticket. All right, guys, back at the car. No ticket whatsoever, nothing. Piss paper still here. So the method works. Follow me for more.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Piss paper.
Yeah. You could just move your car if you're doing piss paper and you're trying to, I guess he's trying to make content.
You make the parking guy touch your piss.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's what they do in St. Pete. They do the parking chalk.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I've been got on that.
I've never been got yet.
Ticket's only $25, so
that's
it's not the end of the world if you want to leave it there for 8 hours. But I still think they sometimes do double tickets too. They just keep racking you up.
That'll get you.
Those little gay parking cars.
Mm-hmm.
Pieces of shit.
Not good. All right, next we have uplifting news. The trans fad is ending. We have multiple posts here. First is it's a TikTok, but it's me watching all of my trans friends from 2020 detransition in 2024, 2025.
Yeah, so they're acknowledging it.
They're acknowledging the detransition, and we have another girl or guy, I don't know, doing the same thing.
14-year-old me deciding to transition, and then they do it with a TikTok audio. 23-year-old me realizing this was the worst decision I've ever made.
So it was always a trend, like Beanie Babies or Frosted Tips.
Yeah.
Came in fast. And
it was worse than Beanie Babies.
Yeah.
Trans. imagine getting sucked into Beanie Babies and go, oh my God, I thought it was going to the moon.
Yeah.
It sucks. I wasted a couple years, but whatever. Lesson learned.
I'll just keep holding them, and maybe in 10 years they'll come back.
They'll be ironic. And now you're trans instead. So could have gotten a lot worse. Screenshotted some comments here from TikTok because the same thing that got a lot of people into being trans, social media, attention, people acknowledging it together, is actually going to ironically be the same thing that gets them out, which is them all as a group kind of realizing, making fun of it, realizing it was a collective mistake. But when I said large amounts of people were transitioning simply because they wanted attention and community, not because they're trans, no one listened to me. It wasn't a trend. Young people were brainwashed during a vulnerable time of their life, the lockdown, and it's super sad. Almost like being chronically online for years has side effects, some people said. And then another person said, my frontal lobe developed. I was a chronically online minor.
That sums it up.
Yeah, so people are realizing it, and then I guess I think we're going to see a wave of detransitions now that it's becoming acknowledged and unpopular, right?
That's great to see. That's uplifting.
Yeah.
Next uplifting clip is out of Warsaw. This is their Christmas market. We got to get rid of the music. It's all Christmas music, but everyone's peaceful. The lights are going. Everyone's dancing around. There's no migrants. There's no crime.
Zero Palestinian-type protesters. They don't need those barriers so a truck doesn't run down a bunch of Polish people in Warsaw.
Isn't that nice? That's what it could be. The only country that held strong.
I think Switzerland is in there too. A couple countries like that.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, our Pure Americana clip of the week. This girl punks this guy at the gym.
Can I take a picture of your shirt?
Yeah, of course.
Wow. I just want to show everyone what a fucking pussy you are. Have a great one.
He's got the ICE is the KKK shirt.
And she punks him so hard and he didn't expect it that he goes, what? Stumbles over his shit.
Kick your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good to see.
You can just punk people. There's this weird thing where people think, oh, I'm wearing a politics shirt, as if the country didn't go 50-50.
Yeah.
Like that acknowledgement that the country didn't go 50-50 and everyone universally agrees with me because they're more quiet about their beliefs is like a crazy thing to think if you're this guy.
Very true.
It's hubris. It's arrogance, right?
Yeah. Good point.
Like even me, we have the show. I don't go around wearing aggressive stuff all the time.
I just go, oh, cool, if someone says something stupid.
Yeah.
I don't get involved.
But it's nice to see a girl punk a guy like that, especially
Very true.
a pussy guy who thought he was getting good boy points. He thought he was getting good boy points.
For sure.
Yeah, come look at my shirt.
You like me?
What? I'm a pussy?
Yeah, don't tell everyone what a fucking pussy you are.
That's good Americana.
That's very good Americana. All right, we have a few shout-outs. Happy birthday to Recycled Rocker on November 28th. Here he is in his Trader Joe's hoodie. He's a hardcore watcher. We love this guy.
He's one of my favorite guys.
He's good.
He's always up to something.
Yeah.
He's always doing something wacky or crazy.
Yeah.
I like that kind of energy.
Me too.
Something I don't quite understand.
Yeah. Very nice. Then happy birthday to they're up to something on Twitter. He's a big watcher and he's also a very big Twitter reply soldier.
Okay.
He's always on Twitter.
Thank you for your service,
helping
brother.
us and replying and showing us and sending us. So thank you. Happy birthday.
Smart.
And then happy birthday to Jack. He's an avid show watcher and his wife had a stroke back in September and he's been taking great care of her.
Happy birthday, Jack.
Happy birthday, Jack. You're a good man. God bless you. Happy 33rd birthday on December 3rd to Brandon. He watches every episode and he works very hard to provide for his wife and family so she can stay at home and homeschool their kids. They have a bunch of kids.
Happy birthday.
She stays home and homeschools. He works hard and provides. happy 33rd birthday to Brandon. We love you.
Happy birthday, Brandon.
And happy birthday to Emily. Her birthday was in November, but they didn't get the shout out request in time because they just had a new baby. Okay. And she's been doing a great job as a mom and handling it like a champ. And the family is great and they love the show. So happy birthday to Emily. Sorry we missed it in November. You can blame me for that one.
Okay.
All right. That's the end of the episode. Thank you guys for watching all the way through. Like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. FleckisTalks.com for a 30-minute bonus land dropping tomorrow. Bonus land's very important. Got to join bonus land. FleckisTalks.com is the website. Remittances in bonus land. We need it. Keeps the show alive. Couldn't do the show without the bonus landers. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you tomorrow at bonus land.
There's uplifting gold and Fleck his pets getting trolled. Coming up to brighten your day. The only way the show can be defined. The best news podcast of all time. Best to keep the P.O. box full.
My brother, a princess. What did I say? I was a man. Y'all said I was a man, so come outside. Come outside for real. Like,